Hi, it's Serene here with Goal Nutrition and Diabetes Specialty, and we are going to talk about making lifestyle changes that can last a lifetime. Now, this has been a topic of discussion, I think always, and probably always will be, right? Because when we make lifestyle changes or we have some goal we really want to achieve, we want it to last. We want it to last our lifetime. But how do we do that? It can be hard and a little frustrating. So I'm going to go over just some key points of doing this to help maybe make it a little bit easier for you to decide how you can make those changes that you want to make so that they can last for your entire lifetime. They have got to fit your personal needs and your personal life, your likes, your dislikes, all of those things need to fit into that change that you're trying to make. That is how you make it sustainable. You need to decide why you want to make these changes, what exactly these changes are, be really specific. And then figuring out how you're going to make them is going to be another big step of the way. So it doesn't mean that you have to give up all the things you love. That's one of the important things I want you to understand with this. A balanced life that is serves a healthy purpose for social well-being, mental well-being, physical well-being, all of those things, they have to include your personal choices and preferences and the things that you love to do. You can't expect to give all those things up and have a really healthy balance in all of those different areas of your life. If you have restrictive guidelines and limitations to the things you can do, it is going to get really frustrating. It brings anxiety and it just makes it hard to be happy with the things that you're doing, right? Because you get frustrated. And also, it takes some time and some patience when you're making changes. So, let me give you a prime example because I see this happening a lot. Say, for example, your lifestyle change you want to make is that you really want to lose some weight. And so you find this great way to lose weight really quickly. And it's very common to be impatient with something like this, right? You want the weight to be gone, you don't want it there. And so you find something that you can do that helps with quick weight loss. And yes, there are things out there that do that. And so you follow this strict regimented diet plan or guidelines. Typically, they're very restrictive. You may feel miserable while you're doing it. You may get to a point where you cannot wait to be done with it. If you feel any of those things, the chances are it's going to not be a long-term fix. But I see this happen, right? So you stick with this diet as long as you can, you lose the weight you want, and then you go back to life as usual because you haven't developed any changes or lifestyle patterns to help continue on with that weight loss. Now, while you're losing this quick weight loss, it's very common to lose lean body tissue. So you've probably lost some muscle mass along the way, and then you go off of this diet plan. The weight gradually comes back on, sometimes more quickly than we want, and it doesn't come back on as lean body tissue. So in the process of this weight loss, you commonly could gain it back. Then you've also changed your body composition along the way because you've lost that lean body tissue. Now, that's just one example. Your goal may not be to lose weight, and that's fine. There's lots of areas in our lives that we want to make changes, but it is just an example of making changes that are not sustainable, not learning the different things along the way that are going to help you be successful and having it fit into what you want to do. Um, but we want to be sure that the choices you're making are things you can do for the long term so that they can be sustainable. So that same person losing weight could have possibly selected some other choices that allowed them for slow and gradual weight loss and things that fit into their life that they can continue doing so that weight can be maintained. That's what we want to do. Now, one really important thing to remember is it doesn't happen all at once. We need to be patient with ourselves. and find those really small steps that we can take that lead to the big results, because that's what happens. It's something that they can, that's sometimes referred to as the compound effect. It's when we do these sometimes even seemingly small, meaningless things that lead to really big results. And so it's those little steps taken over and over and over that lead to great things. So be thinking of things like your health. So if you slowly develop a routine of fitness and you change a few eating habits gradually over time, you slowly build on them, you slowly increase your activity level, then over time, you're going to see this improved health that you have, right? You're going to have a better well-being. You may lose some weight. You may feel better. Those kind of things are going to happen over time with these small steps that you took. Think of finances. You have a bank account and you gradually just put a little bit in it all the time, leaving it there, not a lot, but just a little. Over time, that grows and grows and grows. Then if you add some interest to it, it even grows more. So that can happen the same with any changes you're making in your life. What if you want to develop a better relationship with someone? Well, you gradually start by expressing your appreciation to them. You express your love to them. You start spending quality time with them. You're patient with them and you start to learn more about them and enjoy being together. And pretty soon you have this more fulfilling relationship with that person. That's how these little steps in the compound effect really work. And so it's focusing on that one task at a time and making small changes. Then when you have that one change down, you move on to another, and you got to keep doing that first thing you started. You keep adding and adding to it. That's how it works with making sustainable lifestyle changes. And it's one of those things where it feels comfortable, but it's pushing you just a little bit all the time. But it shouldn't feel restrictive and miserable. Those are too hard to sustain. A really important piece for getting where you want to be is goal setting. It is such an amazing thing when you set goals for yourself. I would start by setting that long range goal of what is it I'm wanting to accomplish with making these lifestyle changes? What is a really specific thing I want to accomplish? Then you start setting little goals along the way. Now, these goals need to be really specific. You can't say something like, I want to be healthier, right? It's like, I want to lose 15 pounds and I want to have increased energy. So be really specific with what you're trying to accomplish so that you know how to get to that end goal. Then you set these really specific goals along the way. They've got to be measurable so that you can see what it is you need to do when you've attained them. They need to be attainable so that you have confidence that you can achieve what you're setting your goal for. And then you will feel happy when you're going along the way, right? Because you have achieved a goal rather than setting a goal that's a little above what you can achieve. That just brings frustration. Keep it down small enough that it is a goal you know you can achieve. I like weekly goals. I think weekly goals are nice. You may continue to do the same weekly goal over and over for several weeks. But if you know for that one whole week, that is what you're concentrating on, is this one goal you set for yourself. Make it something you can do within that week. And at the end of the week, look back and see how you did. It's really rewarding to look back and say, wow, I actually did that. I achieved it. I'm not 100% comfortable, so I'm going to keep doing it next week and see how I do, and so on. You do that until you feel really good about it, then you add another goal to it. And so goal setting is really an important step with this, and it really can help boost your confidence. Now, we know life is going to bring challenges, right? There's going to be times when these goals you're setting are more difficult than others. Maybe you're going to be going along just great, and suddenly, bam, something happens in life, and it kind of knocks you off your feet a little bit. So, success comes when you get back up on your feet more quickly than you did last time. And if you have been working on goals and you are mindful of that target that you're aiming for at the end, you will find yourself getting back up on your feet more quickly this time than last time. And while things are going good, have a plan in mind. What am I going to do if a stressful event comes? How can I continue with this lifestyle in the middle of stress? Because it's going to happen. That is the way life is. We're all going to have stress. It's normal. But have a plan in mind and then be mindful and recognize when you're struggling a little bit and then decide, how am I going to get back up on my feet again and continue moving forward? Maybe you pull some of your goals down to where they're a little bit smaller, but just have a plan to help keep you moving forward. And you're going to find it to be a big success. So remember, lifestyle changes are meant to fit your lifestyle. They need to be personalized for you, and they need to help improve where you want to go, but they need to fit what you want to do so that they can be sustainable. They come one little step at a time. That's where that success is going to come. And be sure that you are setting goals along the way. Make them specific, make them attainable, and then enjoy and celebrate when you meet that goal every week. Then get back up on your feet. When you have a roadblock or something gets in your way, that's going to happen. Just remember to get back up on your feet and be proud of yourself for moving forward.